by Dr. Raymond Taylor. The final chapter of the Gospel of John has puzzled readers for centuries. After the climactic resurrection scenes, the story continues in an oddly domestic key. Jesus appears by the Sea of Galilee, builds a charcoal fire, prepares fish, and invites his disciples to breakfast. For many, this passage has been treated as an appendix, a gentle coda to the drama of resurrection. But when read through the lens of Mandaean ritual, John 21 becomes something very different. It is not about triumph. It is about mourning, purification, and the last act of baptism. The details of the scene are too specific to be accidental. Charcoal fire burns on the shore. In Mandaean practice, charcoal is not fuel for cooking, but a tool of purification. After immersions, priests place charcoal in a small brazier to create smoke that drives away lingering forces of darkness. The smoke seals the rite, cleansing the air around the initiate and protecting the soul from spirits that cling to the edges of the ritual. When Jesus builds his fire, the image recalls this act of fumigation. The coals are not a backdrop for miracle. They are the apparatus of exorcism, the last purification after immersion. Then there are the nets. The disciples cast their nets into the water and haul in a miraculous catch of fish. Christian interpreters have long seen this as a symbol of evangelism, the church gathering souls. Yet the method of fishing described in the text is telling. The fish are not lured or hooked. They are dragged through the water by weighted nets. In Mandaean symbolism, this is precisely how souls are gathered. The priest draws the souls through the current, dragging them upward from darkness into life. The act is called the hauling of the living. It is both ritual and metaphor. The Gospel reproduces this action exactly. The fish are the souls. The net is the priestly drag. The resurrection is reimagined as a baptismal haul. After the fire is lit and the fish are caught, Jesus says simply, "Follow me." This is the same formula spoken at the end of a Mandaean immersion. After the third dip, as the initiate rises from the water, the priest places a hand on his shoulder and says, "Follow me in the path of light." It is not a command to obey a leader, but an invitation to continue walking in the current of the great life. The words are liturgical. Their presence in John 21 is evidence that the author was preserving the rhythm of a baptismal rite. What is missing in this scene is as important as what is present. There is no crown, no throne, no display of heavenly power. The conclusion of the gospel does not elevate Jesus in glory. It seats him by a fire of coals with food and smoke. This is the language of mourning. The Mandaeans treat the days after immersion as both celebration and lament. For immersion symbolizes a return to the light, but also a separation from the world of flesh. Meals are shared not as triumphs, but as farewells. The bread and fish at the riverside resemble the post-ritual meal called the lafani, a communal breakfast eaten after the morning wash. The disciples eat with him as initiates eat with their priest, quietly, in remembrance. The suggestion that this scene is about mourning rather than resurrection is supported by its tone. The disciples do not celebrate. They eat in silence. The Gospel comments that none dared ask him who he was, because they knew. The unspoken awareness is not joy but grief. It is the recognition that the teacher is gone, that what remains is the ritual that binds them together. The smoke rising from the charcoal fire is the smoke of parting, sealing the air with protection. Scholars such as E.S. Drower have noted the role of charcoal in Mandaean ritual fumigation, where it is used to cleanse both the body and the environment. After immersion, the canonical prayer book of the Mandaeans, Oxford University Press, 1959. Joran Buckley has observed that Mandaean meals following baptism are always simple, often consisting of bread and fish, and always communal. The Mandaeans, Ancient Texts and Modern People, Oxford University Press, 2002. These details align precisely with the closing chapter of John. The fire, the fish, the bread, and the command to follow are not narrative embellishments. They are ritual markers. Even the description of the net full of fish that does not break matches Mandaean imagery. The unbroken net symbolizes the unbroken body of light. the unity of souls gathered together. In Mandaean cosmology, the danger is that the net might tear, scattering souls into the darkness once again. The assurance that the net held is the assurance that the gathered ones remain safe within the current. The Gospel of John thus closes not with exaltation, but with ritual. The fire purifies, the fish symbolize souls, the meal marks remembrance, and the command to follow continues the path of the living. What Christianity later interpreted as proof of resurrection may originally have been the liturgical record of a mourning rite. The teacher is gone, but the current remains. The disciples are now priests, tasked with carrying the ritual forward. The gospel does not end with victory, but with continuity. The final irony is that the editors who added this scene may not have understood its origin. To them, it was a touching breakfast narrative, a way to give closure. But the Aramaic rhythm within the text reveals its older form. It is the Mandaean mourning rite, complete with smoke, fish, and command. The true ending of the gospel is not triumph over death. It is the preservation of ritual memory. They should have kept the coals, let him burn, let the smoke rise over the river, for that smoke is the final word of the rite, the seal of the current and the sign that even in mourning the water still flows. Veritas lux mea.
Veritas lux mea.